ये जो इंटरनेट है, ये जो पब्लिक परसेप्शन है, जो फेम है, it is just a
This video is not about Samay Raina, or I hope I'm saying his name right. Uh, it's more about, or my perspectives when I watched his stand up special. So this happens to me a lot where I'll watch the same thing that a lot of people are watching, and then towards the end of it, I'll have a very different perspective than what I hear people talk about. And especially when it comes to this stand up special, so many people have been, you know, uh, loving it, praising him for whatever he did. And which is a good thing. I'm happy for him. It's so what I'm trying to say is I'm not here to like put him down or hate him or anything because I don't know the guy. Uh, I watched the stand up special because, oh, this is going viral. And to be honest, I did not know who this guy was. I did come across his show that he did on YouTube called India's Got Latent. And, it's one of those things that came up as, the suggested whatever. And I just clicked on it just to see what it is. And I watched a little bit, not my vibe. So I just kind of like, just moved on to the next video or whatever. And then after like a few months or years, I come to know that a big controversy that happened with the show and all that stuff. And when my wife told me that, oh, this is the guy who started the show, and after a lot of controversy, he's basically like it's a comeback kind of thing. So I'm like, let's watch it. And it's just my observations or thoughts as I watched it. So just wanted to share it. Uh, Not in a way to like criticize him. Obviously, he has the right to do whatever he wants. I don't think he's even gonna see this or care about what I have to say. But it's just my thoughts, and maybe somebody else also relate. It's a good feeling to when you have like a certain perspective and then you share that, and if nobody else gets it, you're like, oh, am I weird for thinking this? I don't know. But then if there's another person like, oh wait, I didn't see that, that actually makes sense, or if they're like, yeah, I thought about that too, and then like, oh wow, okay, yeah, I know it sounds like that. I mean, I'm seeking for validation or whatever. I'm kind of getting, or in a way, working on myself or asking Holy Spirit to help me get over this need for validation. Yeah, it's not for validation. It's just that I want to share my perspective, a perspective that I don't really hear a lot. And if that relates with anybody else, great. If it does not, hopefully it just gives you another perspective to think about. And as I'm watching this show, this is what like it's in the beginning part of the show, right? So this is what he says.
I don't know if you know this or not, but तुम मेरे शो में आए हो तो मैं तुम्हें बता दूं, तुम जो भी हमें देखते हो ना, comedians, creators, actors, celebrities, public figures, you are never watching us as who we are just playing a character on the internet. क्योंकि अगर हम ऑनेस्ट हो जाएंगे ना, जो बातें हम रियल लाइफ में करते हैं अगर हम इंटरनेट पे कर देंगे ना, दिन के 3 FIR है ना। इंडिया में सेफ रहो बस। इंडिया में इंटरनेट इज नॉट अ प्लेटफॉर्म टू शोकेस योर आर्ट। इन इंडिया इंटरनेट is a game we play to set a high score in our bank accounts.
I've seen that a lot, not only with people on the internet, but like the Indian culture in itself. It's very much like show the best, hide the rest. It's also that honor shame culture, right? So you only show whatever like the parts of you that you want other people to see. And I think it's not only just in India. I think it's like most of the world does this. And something that I've always had a big problem with is how we've made it okay to not be our real selves. And and that's just how many people just do life. And I'm glad that at least he's honest enough to share that what they see on internet is not real. It's basically all fake eventually to make money for whoever's doing it. And yeah, it's an ideology that I've always kind of like felt iffy about. But then That's just the world we live in. And I'm not saying I'm better than anything. I fall into that because that's just how the world works. And sometimes even if I don't like it, that's just how I think when I was younger, I was much more like open about how real I could be. Even in my failures, even in my mess ups or whatever, I would still be more open. I think as I'm growing older, I'm becoming more conformed to the system of, faking it and showing the best and hiding the rest. And basically what he said, not just on internet but also in life. And I don't like that about myself, but I do that. And sad reality, right? But it's just that idea always kind of like did not sit right with me. Hope that makes sense. And I'm glad that he actually like mentioned that so people know that's what it is.
मैं भी जो इंटरनेट पे हूं, मैं भी नाटक ही कर रहा हूं, वो भी एक कैरेक्टर ही है। लेकिन जो कैरेक्टर मैंने बनाया है ना इंटरनेट पे, जैसा मैं रियल लाइफ में हूं, उससे भी बनाया है मैंने। कि अगर नाटक करना ही है तो बनते हैं ना इंटरनेट पे, क्योंकि आदमी से कोई अच्छी बातें एक्सपेक्ट ही नहीं कर रहा। मैं गंदी बातें करूंगा, लोग बोलेंगे ये तो करेगा ही, घटिया आदमी है। इट्स फ्री टू बी, it's freeing, it's liberating.
If you did not understand so far, he's basically sharing about how he also creates a fake persona on the internet, and he just created like a much worse version of him on the internet because if he does do something really bad on the internet, then people are like, obviously that's just who he is. Like the character is already aligned to the bad things that he might do. So yeah, that's what he was trying to say. Go back to the video.
अगर तुमने क्लीन इमेज ले ली ना, बहुत वाहवाही होगी तुम्हारी इंटरनेट पे, पर यू विल ऑलवेज बी स्ट्रेस्ड, यू विल ऑलवेज बी स्ट्रेस्ड कि एक बार तुमने हक दिया ना, पूरा दुनिया तुम्हें नीचे खींचने के लिए रेडी रहेगा। एक क्लीन बंदा कभी हरामी नहीं बन सकता इंटरनेट पे, कभी भी क्लीन बन सकता है।
All right. So yeah, basically he talks about how if you portray yourself as like a really bad person on the internet, then whatever you do, people are like, obviously that's what we can expect. And sadly, it's that kind of content that actually like becomes more popular, and especially in the world of monetization, that's the content that gets more views and stuff and eventually gets more money too. And then he talks about how if you have a clean persona or like a good person kind of a persona, then it's so much of pressure because you have to maintain that. Like if you're a bad person, you can always turn into a good person, but if you're like you have a good person persona on the internet or something like that. Mind you, like this is all coming from a backstory of him saying everything that you see on the internet is never real. It's like a fake persona that you put up for people to see and eventually for you to make money. It's just I don't know. I watch this. I get it's funny. I get how the world works, and he's basically just sharing how he's seen the world to work and how he's doing it also like he's admitting how he is right but there's such a sad reality that this goes beyond the internet persona like people don't want to be better. This just shows a lot about people's psychology for me because people just don't want to be better because they feel like being better or growing or being a better human is so much more work. I would rather just be like a bad person. And if that's going to eventually get me more money and more attention, like that's what everybody in this world wants, right? So then I kept watching the show, and then he goes on to talk about his family, how his dad sacrificed a lot for him to go to a good school and do all that. Like the rest of the show, I'm not going to go into so much detail, but like he talks about a lot of like things where like the many people were like, oh bro, made me cry and made me laugh at the same time. Yeah, he spoke about some really good funny things and also very like you know heart touching I guess, kind of things. And then as I'm watching all that, I'm thinking, wait, are you being real right now? Or are you putting up a fake persona once again to, make money from this stand up special? Yeah. So that kind of like got me thinking as he went on to go on to the show.
I am so glad it happened. This has made me wiser. It has given me so much clarity कि मेरे को लाइफ में क्या चाहिए अब. मैं पूरी तरह से गेम समझ गया हूँ. ये जो इंटरनेट है, ये जो पब्लिक परसेप्शन है, ये जो फेम है, it is just a game that makes you not be real. क्योंकि तुम चेस करते हो लोगों से प्यार, लोगों से वैलिडेशन, ताकि लोग तुम्हें पसंद करें, तुम पैसा कमाओ. पैसा मैंने अब कमा लिया. अब मुझे वो करना है जो मेरे को हमेशा से दिल करता था, विच वॉज टू बी कंप्लीटली माई सेल्फ. लोगों को पसंद आए आए ना आए.
Oh, I saw this and I'm like, oh, wait, wow. So basically, until now, whatever he did was like a fake persona thing. And now with this special, he actually, wants to be real. Like he just said, like, yeah, I've played the game, I've made the money, I've done all these things, and now I actually want to be real. I'm like, oh, okay. So he he's learned from his mistakes, I guess. I don't know, like from putting up a fake persona. I'm like, that's great. And he wants to be real. Yeah. And then he goes on to talk about like what's going to happen with the show. Because until now, he basically explained of what all happened after the controversy. And then he goes on to talk about the future of the show that he created and then had to take down. And he's explaining what's going to happen after this.
एंड रही बात इंडियाज गॉट लेटेंट की, लोग पूछते रहते हैं मुझसे क्या ये शो वापस आएगा.
Based on everything that he said, a fake persona of how everything is just like a game that they're playing to get money eventually. And then he shared about all his life. And I'm like wondering, is this real? Is this not? How much of it is like manipulation to, or, entertainment? All that stuff. And then he goes on to say about how he's learned his lesson, or not learned his lesson, but like he's played the game, he's made the money, now he just wants to be real, all that stuff. And then he says this.
लेट मी रिफ्रेश दैट. आई डोंट थिंक इससे हाई पॉइंट पे मेरे शो का सीजन 1 एंड हो सकता था.
So he basically announced a season 2 for the show that earlier he talked about how it's all like a fake game, basically to make money. He just announced season 2 of that show right after him talking about how he's done the game, he's made the money, now he wants to be real. I thought, oh, maybe something's going to be different. But we're back to, I guess, playing the game to make the money, I guess. That's, yeah. So I get, like, see, like I said at the beginning, I am not trying to hate on him. He can do whatever he wants. He is going to do whatever he wants. Uh, but as I watch this, these are the things that kind of like, I don't know, just kind of play with my mind. I'm like, wait, am I supposed to like appreciate and cheer him going back to playing a game and promoting a fake persona online to make money? Or I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to do here? And yeah, that's basically how I think about the whole thing. But I'm also not gonna deny that there were like moments where he like, talked about men's mental health, and like this show kind of, or the stand-up special kind of became like a thing that started a trend, especially in India, where guys would go and tell I love you to their dads, and people started posting videos about and all that stuff. Yeah, there were like sprinkles of like good things here and there, but overall I'm still confused. Are you supposed to be like a real person? Are you supposed to just show like a fake persona, especially a bad persona, to make money? Like, what are we? I don't know. Like, he basically said all that. He talked about all the things that him and his family went through because of the backlash of the controversy of the season one of his show. And then he concluded all of that with saying, "Oh, I've made the money. I just want to be real now. I want to do the thing." And then he goes on to say, "I want to start a second uh, season of the show." I mean, I don't know what the show is going to be like, but I think there's another clip that I kind of recorded. Let's see what that says. I forgot.
शो तो मैं लाऊंगा भाई, क्योंकि मजा आता था वो शो करने में। मेरे को बस अब मैं जब तक हूं इस दुनिया में मुझे मजे करने हैं भाई।
So he just said, "I'm going to bring back the show because I had so much fun doing it." Uh, he had so much fun playing a bad character. I mean, he's gonna do what he's gonna do, and yeah, I'm just trying to understand what he just said. This is like the last part of the comedy special.
मैं चाहता हूं मैं एकदम वाइल्ड शो करूं, इंटरनेट पे देखें अब क्या एकदम कट कुट के सॉफ्टी वर्जन डालेंगे। आई वांट टू डू अ वाइल्ड वाइल्ड शो। आई एम गोना टेक अवे ऑल योर फोन्स और पहला ही सवाल मैं पूछूंगा कंटेस्टेंट से, वुड यू रादर।
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. See, this is what I felt after watching the whole special, and then like I saw clips on online and just different people like, "Oh man, the best thing ever." I'm like, "Oh wow." So maybe I'm the only one who does not understand this. I don't know. What do you think?